Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Just about to do another box of pennies. I'm pretty much doing a box a day now, so keeping up a good pace so I can get into some nickel boxes here pretty soon. But this box is pretty interesting. I've never gotten an actual box like this before. It says Coinage Distribution Inc. So I'm not quite sure what that means. Usually if on the rolls of dimes and some past rolls of nickels, it wasn't coinage distribution, but they were a sort of a facility that went through coins and handed them out to banks. So hopefully that's not a bad sign. I will go through these. There's just a bunch of shotgun rolls, and if you saw our previous video that was all shotgun rolls, it was pretty much just an average box. But again, as always, I'll go through these and show you guys the results. Be back soon. Alright guys, not too bad of a box there. However, I failed to see that going through all of the rolls, that there wasn't 50 rolls in that box. There was only 49. If you go back and watch the little intro, you can see that there was actually only 49, and that's how I figured it out. When I got to the end, I thought I was missing a roll. So that kind of sucked. But as you can see, I'm not too worried about it. I'll show you guys why in a little bit. But let's just start with the copper results. In total, there was 777 copper pennies, and that was 31.7%. So a lot lower even than our 35% that we've been getting in the last couple of boxes. For these 1982 to 1996 Canadian copper coins, we had 447. Next, we only had a couple of 1980 and 1981 Canadian pennies. There was 58 of those. Here we have our 1953 to 1979. As you can see, the Centennial Dove right on top there. In total, we had 213. And then lastly, for our pre-1982 American cents, we had 59. So a little bit disappointing. I'm just going to go ahead and weigh them here. Since the percentage is so low, I'm going to kind of guess that we're a little bit lower than our usual 5%. And that turned out to be the case. In total, we had 4 pounds and probably slightly under 14 ounces when you take away the weight of the pails. But I'm not too worried about the copper results. I kind of alluded last time in the previous video that you guys might be interested in the results of this box, and that's simply due to the amount of rare and older coins that we have, particularly the American wheat pennies. But I'll show you guys those in a second here. Let's start with our King George VI. We had 12 of those in total, and to start we had 2 from 1940, a 1942, a 1943, a 44, a 45, a 47, a 1948, a 1949, so we pretty much almost ran the entire 1940s there, a 1950, another from 1950, and one more from 1950. So 3 from 1950 and 12 King George VI pennies altogether. And for our American wheat cents, we had 37 amazingly, and it turned out that I believe it was 26 of them were just from 2 rolls, and they were marked USA on them. So when I opened up the first one, it had 15, and I thought that the second one might be really nice as well, and that turned out to be the case. So really happy to get 37. I'll go through them quickly here, just because I might not ever get another chance to show you guys this many American wheat pennies here in the future. But the earliest one that we had was a 1918 S. Really happy with that. We don't get a lot of S mint marks, and definitely not all the way back into the teens for the wheat pennies. 1927. A second from 1927, and this is actually in really good condition. Hopefully you guys can make out the mint luster there. A 1938, a second from 1938, a 1940, a 41, 42, a second from 1942, a 1942 with a D mint mark, and then we had a second 1942 with a D mint mark, a 1944, a second from 1944. We had a lot of doubles on these wheat pennies. A 1945, second from 1945, a 1950, again 1950, a 1946, that's out of order there. I must have missed that one when I was putting it together. Another from 1946, and then a 1947 with a D mint mark, and going all the way down here, a 1949, a 1950D, a 1950, and I believe, if I can get it to adjust here, and that's another S mint mark. So 2 S mint marks with these wheats. A 1951, a 1951D, a second 1951D, a 1952D, a 1953D, a second 1953D, and a 1955D. So a lot of D mint marks so far, and here's our last row. The last 7, we had a 1956, a 1957, a second 1957 that's in a little bit of rough shape, a 1957D, a 1958, a second from 1958, and then lastly a third from 1958. So 37 wheat pennies in total. Hopefully you guys made it through that. Again, really nice find. Happy to get as many King George pennies and American wheat cents as we can in these last couple of boxes. In our final row, we had 8 from 1982. And again, as I've mentioned in our previous videos, in our last couple with these last Canadian boxes of pennies, we're keeping the ones that are in really good condition, all the ones before 1980. Hopefully the camera can pick it up, but we have a 1972, a 1974, a 79, and then we had a really nice 1968, and if I can get it to show up, that one had a S mint mark as well. And that's one of the best condition American cents that we had back going to the 1960s, so happy to get that. We had another 2009 American cent in this box, so I believe that's 3 in a row now. Here's a foreign coin that we had, and I'm not really too sure where this is from. I'll flip it around here. It has the Queen on the back, so it must be some Commonwealth country. I'm guessing somewhere in the Caribbean, but if somebody could let me know where that coin is from, that'd be greatly appreciated. And lastly, we had 3 dimes, which was nice because it's been quite a while since we've picked up some dimes in our penny box. So yeah, really amazing box on those older coins. Again, just to recap, we had 12 King George VI pennies and then 37 American wheat cents. So that's awesome, especially as we get down to our last couple of boxes. And again, just to remind you guys, I believe we're down to 8 boxes now. So I'm going to try to keep up the pace with about 1 every day and try to get them out in consecutive days here, just because, as I mentioned before, I would like to jump right into a couple nickels. I'm pretty much trying to wait until I get through all these pennies and bring back the steel and zincs before I start into some nickels again. But I hope you guys enjoyed that box. I really appreciate all the comments you guys have been leaving. I just answered a whole bunch of them, and you guys not only keep us motivated to do coin roll hunting, but you also provide a lot of great information and content, and new information I should mention, that definitely helps us out as well. So that's it for now, guys. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, let me know what you think of the box. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next video.